Okay guys, so you guys may remember this piece. This is my Speedy automatic date from the 90s. I got it off eBay a couple of years ago, and then I sent it off for repair because of what you can see in this photo, which is a damaged dial. Now, a damaged dial wouldn't bother me too much, but the damaged dial got progressively worse, as did the chronograph, as did the timekeeping. So I knew I had some problems. So I did what everybody says not to. I sent it off to Omega. I said, let's see what Omega can do. So let's get right to it. All right, guys. So like I said, I'm familiar with vintage watches. This is a 40s Omega pre-Constellation military awards piece that I would never think of sending off to someone that would totally remove it of such patina. But I thought, I'm going to send this one to Omega. Everybody says don't send to Omega because they'll completely redo your watch. Let's see if that's true. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning, right? And I have to be honest, I did sneak a peek of this timepiece before I got it on video. So below, Omega is kind enough to send back your original parts. Here you see the subdial hands as well as the main hands. We'll talk about that. The dial, the bezel, the seals, the pushers, the crown, and even the original spring bars. So let's take a look at a couple of things here. See what I had them change, what they changed on their own, what extra they did. So taking a look at the timepiece, we're going to pull it off here. First of all, the packing is great. They send it in that little travel case. And then they wrap it with this vinyl around the front here. So you can see just a stunning piece. Looks brand new, even though it was built in the mid-90s. They even polished up the inside of the clasp. And of course, they have a guard on the case back as well, which they also polished up. Now, none of this I asked for. I did not ask for any polishing of the watch, so the entire thing has been polished. Was not requested. I'll tell you what I did request. I requested a new dial, a new bezel, and a full service. So this is what you get with a full service. So we're going to pull this crown out. We're going to go ahead and check the date. It has a nice snap to it now, something it previously did not have. Now that we get, it's the 31st, so one day prior, I'm going to go ahead and spin these around. I do that so that at noon it doesn't flip over. Let's take a look at that time. Looks like about 7 o'clock. Let's double check that. 7:06 actually. So let's go ahead. And we're going to wind this. I usually wind mine about 20 half turns. Get it a significant power before I get it on my wrist. It is an automatic, so it will continue to charge as I move. But I like to get that starting charge so it doesn't wind down too quickly. And you can see the subdial at 9 is now moving. We're going to press that pusher. Pusher is very strong, very secure feeling, and you can see that chronometer hand is running quite smoothly. So that's something that had become damaged. And then on the wrist, you can see that high polish. So guys, the Omega forum, the What You Seek forum, everybody says don't send to Omega. The reason they say that is because Omega will rejuvenate your watch back to original. So if you have a 1968 Speedmaster, obviously you don't want to do that. You have a 90s one, not so worried. And actually you get your pieces back from Omega, so if you do want to sell it at some point, you will have those original pieces. But they did polish it. You can see the update has the lume on the hands that I did not order and on the indices from the new dial, which I did order. So like I said, I ordered the bezel, ordered the dial. Why did I do that? We're going to talk about that while I show it to you on a couple of different straps. So the reason I did that is originally purchased this watch from a vendor who had two of them, who I won't name. He sent me one, very nice individual. He actually sent me the wrong one. The case and bezel were much worse than the original, but the dial was better. So I kept it. I polished up the case and bezel a little bit, but I was never thoroughly happy with it. It had a chip on the crystal, which by the way, they polished out. And then, yeah, I settled for it. I was never thoroughly happy. So when I got steam, I got too close to a steamer at work. I got steam inside the dial, and took it to a local watchmaker. They quote unquote dried it out. But the dial was getting progressively worse, so I decided that I work for an AD. I'm going to send it off to Omega, see what they can do, and obviously they did an amazing, amazing job. And you can see it here on the NATO that it was originally on in those first pictures. We're going to do a comparison, but I want to thank Scott Keeps Time for this NATO. I love it. It looks really great on this piece, and I want to thank Omega for updating such a beautiful job here. If you send your piece off to Omega, you will get a new looking piece back. So if it's a vintage piece, do not do that if you don't want it. Me, thumbs up on that. So this is the original photo, the original video with the damaged dial, with the damaged bezel. I do like the ghosted bezel, but I'm glad I updated it. You can see here, even the dial is much darker. The rhodium on the subdials is much nicer. The bezel, of course, is better. And then you can see the pushers and crown are even smoother. There was damage on that they've replaced also without asking. So as a review, guys, just understand that Omega is a company that is going to rejuvenate your piece to as close to the original piece as they can get. So if you send a vintage piece off to Omega, you're going to get a vintage piece that just looks like it rolled off the assembly line. For me, that's perfect. That's what I wanted, because it was a 90s piece, not a 1968, Speedmaster Moonwatch. So understand that, guys. I would never ever think about sending my mid-40s timepiece that I showed you at the beginning of the video to Omega. I would send it to a certified watchmaker. But this one, perfect. Now keep in mind that I sent it and I requested a new dial and a new bezel and a internal cleaning. And what they did was a new dial, a new bezel, an internal cleaning, polished the case back, the crystal, the bracelet, the clasp, and replaced the hands and the crown, the pushers, the winding stem, and the spring bars without asking. So keep that in mind, guys. You're going to get a new piece back. Now $750, it seems like a steep price, and I hear people, oh man, it's a value $750. Well, yeah, it is a value $750, but you're not only getting that, you're getting a lot of new stuff. You're getting a lot of rejuvenated stuff. So while you can get a $750 serviced for $300 to $500 elsewhere, if you want the rejuvenated timepiece, the timepiece that looks brand new, send it to Omega. If you just want a updated movement, if you just want a clean to service movement, don't send it to Omega. Me, I wanted a working timepiece that looked new. That's what I got. So hope you guys have enjoyed this little review of my experience with Omega. It was very slow due to the dial being a Japanese only dial that was limited production. So mine took about 5 months. That's something else, guys, is it's not a quick service. But yeah, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoy your Tuesday, and we'll just see you soon. Go ahead and like and subscribe and all that other stuff, like always, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.